You have two options for what you want to paint today. Option one is to paint right alongside me and follow along with the same example I'm doing to create my seamless pattern. So this is a great option if you're fairly new to watercolors and you'd be more comfortable following my lead. I am here to show you the way. Option two is to paint right alongside me, but come up with your own pattern. You'll still get my exact same tips for the considerations I make when I'm hand painting my elements, like the sizing of each piece, and not to crop anything off the page, and painting in a way that's going to make removing that background so much easier. All of those juicy tips and more. The big bonus here, if you decide to go with option two, which is painting your own pattern, is you will be able to sell that pattern later on. Whether it's on Etsy or Spoonflower or Society6 or anywhere else, if you create your own pattern, you will own that copyright and you can do whatever you want with it. And if you follow along with my exact example and you also paint these flowers and leaves exactly the way I'm doing, that's great, and that will be for practice only, but you won't be able to monetize it later on. So feel free to follow along with my exact floral pattern so you can practice and learn, or follow along creating your own unique pattern if you want to monetize it later. All right, so let's talk about choosing a motif. When it comes to choosing your subject, you literally have endless possibilities. I've created seamless patterns out of sushi, cicada wings, mushrooms, unicorns, bananas, hot air balloons, bunnies, rainbows, otters, peaches, disco balls. You get the idea. So choose a subject matter that speaks to you. Today, I'll be demonstrating a seamless pattern with a motif that is always on trend: florals. Floral patterns are the evergreen constant of surface design. Floral patterns have historically sold very well, and they'll continue to do so. That's what I mean when I say evergreen trend. Simply put, florals will never go out of style. And this is great news for me as a surface designer, because I know that if I paint a floral pattern, it has a pretty good chance of becoming a strong seller in my portfolio now and for years to come. And the other reason that floral patterns tend to sell so well is because they look really good on a huge variety of products. In my licensing portfolio, I have florals available as wallpaper, journals and planners, stationery cards, duvets and bedding sets, even dishware and gifting products. Home decor is definitely my sweet spot for florals. Flower patterns look really good on rugs, pillows, curtains, and bedspreads. Plus, flowers and leaves are just plain fun to paint. I have created a ton of floral-inspired artwork over the years. And even though it's the exact same motif, flowers, I try to make each design a little bit different. I've done bold and graphic floral shapes, dainty and feminine flowers, holiday florals like poinsettias, retro-inspired groovy floral prints, watercolor, gouache, acrylic, vector, and Procreate florals. The point is, there are an infinite number of ways that you can depict a floral pattern. Oh, and one thing I want to add is this class is going to provide you with a ton of really good content that you can share on social media. Any sort of behind the scenes that you can share that shows your art process always does really well on social. Here's a quick and effective way that you can show your art process into creating a seamless pattern. I started with a final pattern because that's the most compelling image, plus it's going to make my grid on Instagram look really good. Next, I show my original pencil sketch, and then a half-completed painting, and finally, a few mock-ups to show how it looks on actual products. My customers, social media followers, and licensing clients also love seeing this behind the scenes, especially since more up-close and personal stories behind the designs really make the artwork feel a little bit more personal. This example has only photos, but as you're following along creating your own pattern, you could do photos or videos as well. Videos are especially great if you want to create an Instagram reel or put together your own TikTok. And plus, video on social media tends to get a little bit better engagement than just stills. So as you go, if you want to use your phone to kind of snap some videos, some photos, showing your process from start to finish, It'll give you some really nice and juicy content to show later when you're promoting your design on social media. All right, that was a little segue, but good social media tips. So anyway, yeah, you can choose option 1, which is follow along with my exact florals, or you could do your own version of a floral pattern, so following along with my same motif, but making it uniquely yours, or something else entirely. So once you have your concept envisioned and you're ready to go, it's time for the fun part, which is sketching it out on paper.